Nat 20. Hi folks, Merlin here, bringing you another Dungeons and Dragons unboxing. So, I've just received Delivery 6, which contains issues 19, 20, 21 and 22. Looking pretty good aside from a damaged tin on issue 22, but we'll get into that when we get round to the issue. I've already tipped them out of the bag, so there's less to do on camera. But yeah, we'll go through each of the issues, have a look at the gifts in brief, go through the new content, of course skipping the adventures for now. We'll look more into that in the individual issue reviews. Before we do, big shout out to, of course, all my supporters, whether you're YouTube or Patreon. Big thank you to all of you. I'm working on quite a bit of content at the moment. I've got some paint videos coming out very soon, including a Patreon exclusive one. I'm working on my mumbles for February. I wanted to do it at the start of February, but I weren't feeling well, so I'm going to hopefully get it out for the end of the month. Give you a bit of a catch up on what I've been doing hobby-wise, as well as answer any questions. If you want to post me your questions, there's an email in the video description, which is my private email for the channel. Send your questions to that, and I will do my best to answer those on camera for you guys. I'm looking into getting some new equipment as well. Hopefully, though, I will require some Patreon support. So if I can get a few subscribers on Patreon, I can at least afford some better equipment for filming. I'm looking at getting a new webcam, mainly for being able to stream from my paint desk, as well as potentially playing card games on official online tournaments. So yeah, that's not going to be too big of an expense. I can find a fairly cheapish one for about less than 20 quid, I think. I have seen a nice high quality one, but I don't see myself needing that just yet, but it's something to think of for the future. The only other major thing I am going to want in the near future, though, is a brand new computer. Mine is really starting to give up the ghost, and yeah, I could really do with a better machine for being able to edit videos and, of course, being able to store all my footage material. Yeah. If you'd like to help me out, of course, channel links for Patreon are in the video description, as well as all my other social medias. So yeah, I think that's enough rambling. So let's jump over the table and we'll take a look at Delivery 6, which got some good little bits of information in some of those issues. So, right, straight to looking through the issues. We got no freebies this delivery, but we do, of course, have our regular issues. So we'll take a look at them in order. And we'll kick things off with issue 19. So we get a brand new set of dice, and it's quite nice. It's a nice blue and silver marble effect with black lettering there. So yeah, pretty nice, nice and glittery. If you like your dice to be a bit more metallic looking, an ideal set for you. Yeah, not my favourite, but still rather nice, pretty looking set anyway. Into the issue then. So let's take a look. Front cover then. Dare you enter the monster's lairs even. It's a trap, learning about statues, pits and perils, and we confront aliens, as well as learning how to bring fantasy cities to life. So encumbrance, lifting and carrying is covered. So this is an important piece about being able to carry certain amounts. So depending on your race, you have a specific amount of weight you can carry. about your person before you are hindering your movement. We have Managing Monsters Part 4, looking at how to create a lair for your big bad monster creature. So we see a Banshee here in a hollow sort of area in a forest where she obviously was slain and now she haunts. Yeah, an article about infamous monster layers, so you want to think about characters for movies. So for instance, Smaug, where he held the dwarf city and turned it into his own personal gold storage. Then we have a Managing Monsters Part 5, so learning all about the motivations behind your monsters and your big bads. There are a couple of personality and relationship tables there, depending on the monsters and how they treat the players and or their masters. We have Traps Part 2, continuing on from a long time ago actually. We had our first issue about traps. So we learn about pit traps, how to find them, deadly statues, and we got a how deadly things are. Finally then, nope, still got loads more to go. So bringing cities to life for the DM. So we learn how to create a ideal environment for our world to inhabit. So how to set the scene, learning about the basic cities of Forgotten Realms and how to base yours on, and how to create the hustle and bustle of a market town there. Next up then, we have learning about the different roles of people in the party, so how to bring balance to a team. So we got our basic types here, so a tank, usually your character that can take damage and dish it out. We have our blaster, these are the people who sort of sit back and sling spells. A healer, a support character who does a bit of everything, inspires, puts enemies to sleep, wakes up guys, heals them, etc. And the face, these are usually the jovial types, the rogues and the bards. Those that are the ones to strike up a conversation first rather than other people in the party. Next up then we have a page about the aboleths, a type of creature from beyond the plane of existence. So slimy creatures so old none can remember when they first slithered from the primeval seas. So yeah, very nasty looking creatures. So how to know your aboleths, beware their layers. And then we also have grells, which are very brain-like tentacled creatures with beaks. Very tyrannidy, for those of you who do like I know about 40k. Sort of like a Tzeentch demon or Tzeentch possessed tyrannid, perhaps. Kind of weird. But yeah, they're not exactly the nicest of creatures by the looks of things. And then we got our adventure. So sewer stalkers. So we're going into the sewers, and we face off against a grell. Right, moving swiftly on to issue 20, we get a beautiful giant D10, so that's pretty cool. Let's have a look inside the issue as well. So yeah, we get a felt bag and a giant D10 in blue and silver. Looks really cool, nice and clear at least. I'm actually kind of tempted to get this out just to... Yeah, nice weight to it, really good looking quality of a dice. Numbers are nice and clear. Not the best, a 2. A 10. But yeah, we have a nice little felt bag to store it in. So yeah, I think we're going to be getting one of these giant dice every 10 issues. So by the time we have our 80 issue run, we'll have a complete set of different coloured giant dice, ideal for a DM's personal giant set. So yeah, pretty fun little item. Moving into the issue, new adventure, surprising our enemies, up to no good, learning about the criminals, powers of potions, and we'll have a horrific encounter. So, starting off then, we have the environments around us. So falling and suffocating, some very rather nasty ways to go. So yeah, ways you can dispatch your enemies or even your friends if you so choose. We have an integral part of the game, how to deal with a character's death. So very handy little article there. Death and dying, when should they die? How to make it fair for the characters and players. Will you bring them back alive? Funeral services and a fitting tribute. I sadly had a character die in a LARP, and he never got to complete his vow, but the remaining people of the party did it in his honour, and yeah, it was very nice. How to run horror encounters, so another page of the DM. Knowing your limits on what to include, so you want to speak to your players about creating a horror thing. There might be those that find certain things scary, such as those dealing with spiders, etc., fear, arachnophobia and such. But yeah, nice fun little attachment you could do to your adventures. So techniques, how to create an atmosphere as well. Moving on for sage advice, we look at potions and the various different types you can get. So there's healing, abilities of water breathe, invisibility, vitality, storm giant strength, and dragon's majesty. Moving on, we have a page for combat section where we learn all about how to make surprises and surprise attacks. Very handy for those stealthy, sneaky types. I'm looking at you, rogue. And then we have how to control the battlefield. So yeah, pretty nice little article there, how to make the best out of combat situations. So how to direct the control, terrain control, and how tricky it can be. We have a new background to look at next. This is the criminal and spy. So yeah, really cool. It's handy to have somebody who knows their way around the less favourable parts of town and society. How to roleplay a criminal and their benefits as well. Moving on to our lore then, we have the Church of Kelemvor as a faction. So a little bit more about them, as well as the Realm of Death there. And our adventure is Drafting the Dead, so we are facing off against a zombie horde by the looks of things. And a spectre. So that's pretty cool. Moving on to issue 21. So this is one of the ones I was actually kind of the most excited about because we have the design dungeon map. I was hotly anticipating that this might have included extras, but we only get a brand new character sheet. So no dungeon design kit, kind of a letdown. Our dice are also kind of let down. Very silver metallic set with blue writing. It's like silver marbled with silver, so it's not the prettiest. I mean, maybe somebody who likes metallics more would enjoy this sort of set. But yeah, I like the blue on the writing, I must admit. That is nice. It stands out quite nicely. But yeah, silver's not my favoritist of colours when it comes to metallics. But yeah, it's another set of basic dice for us. So, into our issue. So, we learned about the Paladins and how to swear Paladin's Oath. Cult classic from the Ashmedai to Elemental Evil. How to design a dungeon map. And how to wrap up an adventure and prepare it for the next time. So, making maps part 2, we look at the dungeon maps and how to create your own. Pretty handy. This is going to be a very fun article for me to have a read through. So yeah, we got some nice examples, some more really detailed ones that you might be able to create or even download and print as well. You of course want to have a master copy of a map and then a copy that the player party will see, so you know all the ins and outs, and of course they won't until they discover it. Next up then, how to read the room. Whether they're in a dungeon, a house, a crypt or a cavern, rooms shouldn't be interchangeable sets of walls, doors and furniture. Instead, give each room a character of its own. So yeah, another nice article on how to best bring a more in-depth feel to adventures and bring about a real atmosphere to your games. So you got nice remnants of a barroom brawl where Zors was here. He was playing a game of noughts, crosses and triangles, I'm guessing. This bar sucks, so it's not the best of places, obviously. Then we have the end game. So this is all about bringing a adventure and narrative to a climax. So you've been doing your adventures, you've gathered all the necessary information, and now you're ready to go find and defeat your big bad. So learn how to wrap up a adventure as well as preparing an adventure for continuing if need be. And we see a giant spider reading a story to some forest creatures there. So not all spiders are evil. Moving on for classes, we have a Paladin as our newest class to look at. So we're going to be having, of course, Paladin features of the first level. We, of course, learn about the Paladin's Oath. Paladin features second level, the different fighting styles they can take, as well as spellcasting, because the Paladins are like sort of wizard warriors in a way. They have abilities usually benefited by being patrons of a divinity, and yeah, so yeah, not too bad. Nice that we are getting more characters to choose from. We have a bit of background all about cults, so there's many different cults within the Forgotten Realms. And then we have the start of our brand new adventure, which is Dancing with Devils Part 1. So we got a two-parter here. So that's pretty cool. Then we move on. So we got our Possessed Cultists and Infernal Fanatic again. So this guy we had just fairly recently in an encounter. So we got our brand new character. So Oshug Bagok, a Paladin Orc who has the Spy background and is a level 2. So again, if you want a level 1 Paladin, you'll have to create your own at D&D Beyond. But we got our basic stats here. So armor class 16, no plus bonus to initiative, moves 30 feet, plus 2 to proficiency bonus, has a great sword and a short sword, so very melee focus, so nice tank, basically. And there we see her, Oshug, in her rather brutal orcish armor, wielding her greatsword there. And we've got her spell slots there to choose from. So you can take 2 of those. Yeah. Nice little addition to our player collection. Finally then, issue 22, and this is the one that has a slight damage. I might attempt to get a replacement, but I'm not really hard up. I've got a few extra tins, thanks to a duplicate of issue 1 and issue 9, which both came with tins, so I've had second sets of those. But yeah, it's sad to see a damage. It was just weird because this was face down, so the only way I think this could have got damaged was by these dice pressing into it and deforming it. Yeah, well, let's take it out and have a look anyway. So, we've got, looks like, a clear blue set. So I'm actually going to pull these out and have a look, because you can't quite tell inside the tin what they look like. But yeah, we have a dusky blue, but still a nice see-through blue. That's a little harder to see through. It's got a nice effect to it. So yeah, each one's a little different. So we've got some that are more brighter, some that are a little on the darker side. Yeah, nice sort of like polished gemstone effect to them. And it's a pity the dice tin has gotten damaged. It's metal, so it's not the hardest thing to... Actually, it feels incredibly flimsy compared to the other tins we've had. Whether they've changed material or what. So yeah, I might have to do another email to customer service, I think. Not the best. I mean, it could have just been the fact that Royal Mail likes to throw parcels about. But yeah, it's not nice having your pretty cool tins turn up half battered. I'd rather have a nice bit of battered cod. Moving on then, let's take a look at issue 22 and we can wrap this video up. So we have the Divine Domains for your clerics, Mind Over Matter, how to make use of telepathic powers, Wretched Devils, the Nuperibos, or Nuperibos, and we learn all about the different rulers of the realms. So we kick things off with telepathy. So this is the ability to control another person's mind via your mind, by communicating directly into their mind. So mind over matter, basically. And, well, in this case, mind over mind. So yeah, mind over matter, there we go. Various different creatures that have telepathic abilities. So flumphs, mercanes, mind flayers, of course, pseudo-dragons, and Sahugans. We have our next page on how to manage monsters. So again, we're looking at the combat environment. And yeah, how the creatures can interact with our party as they perhaps travel from one destination to another. We have an article all about spectacular magic, how to make the most out of your characters that can conjure and tap into the weave. So yeah, it's a good idea to sometimes quest for components that you need for a specific spell. So it could be a nice quest hook for a adventure. Yeah. So yeah, very handy again article. Next up then, we've got the Cleric Domains. So we're looking at the Tempest Domain, so mastering powers of the storm. We have the Nature Domain here, so again, tapping into the nature and forests and creatures. We have the Trickery Domain, so shape-shifting and the like. So yeah, pretty cool. So it's a nice little insights into the different domains that a cleric can take. Next up, we've got the Nuperibos. Meet the disgusting devils who live at the very bottom of the hellish pecking order. So yeah, spouting flies, bugs, and all sorts, very Nurgle-esque. So yeah, not very nicest of creatures to interact with. They're very disgusting by the looks of things. And then we have our page all about who rules the different realms. So no two cities are exactly alike, and neither are their systems of governments. But whether it's the autocracy, plutocracy, or militocracy, it pays to know who makes the rules before you step through those gates. So yeah, we learn all about who rules the different cities. So we've got Neverwinter, Waterdeep, and Baldur's Gate there. And again, we have a description of all the different forms of government there that you can interact with and put to use in your own adventures. Then we have Dancing with Devils Part 2, so we're continuing our encounter from the previous issue. And yeah, we get to face up with a Nuperibo. Ugh. Yeah, that's going to give me nightmares. Oh, let's flip it over. Right, let's bring all the issues and the items back in, and I'll give you my final thoughts for this delivery. So that's delivery 6 for Dungeons and Dragons Adventurer. And yeah, I think I had my expectations a little high for issue 21. I was expecting a little more in-depth guide on how to make your own maps. It was just more a beginning steps to an aeroplane going over. But yeah, it was lackluster to say the least. As for the rest of the magazine, good, lot of information. Again, new pages for the DM. Very appreciative of that. Nice that we're introducing new elements and again new classes and races. So pretty cool, giving us a bit more of a wider range of characters we can get people to play. Of course, you should encourage people to create their own, of course, on D&D Beyond, or by getting the starter sets that give you step-by-step how to create your characters as well, which would be quite nice. They also do include pre-generated characters, I believe, in both of them, the Essential set and the Starter set. But you do have the option in the Essential set, I believe, to create your own characters. It comes with, I think, 6 blank character sheets so you can create your own. Yeah, really cool. That's a different topic though. Going back to this, dice, yeah. Kind of a letdown. None are really spectacular. These, while pretty, unless you hold them up to a really bright light, they don't appear all that see-through. I mean, looking at them here, you'd think that those are just a black and silver set, not a nice clear see-through blue set with silver lettering. Yeah. Also, the damaged tin doesn't really help warrant much the ratings of the free gifts in the issues. I think if I had to choose one set of dice that I like the most, it's probably these. That's only because it's got a nice effect to it, nice marbling, blue and silver mixing together nicely, as opposed to the all silver set. Yeah, they're good, nice clear. I like the blue, but yeah, the silver is a bit too overpowering. The only other good thing is the giant dice, for those who like oversized items. Yeah, we're going to get one of these for every 10 issues and in different colours. So I believe we're getting a... I think it's the D12 in the next one, or the D8. We're getting a giant green one soon. So yeah, your next issues 20, well, starting from issues 22 to 21 to 30, we're going to get another giant dice, and we'll get another one, another one, another one, till we get a complete playable set. The only other really standout thing is, of course, that new character sheet. As I mentioned, it's good to have a new character class that we can let people play. Kind of sad we only got the level 2 character sheet. Would be nice if we had level 1, so we could go back to the earlier adventures and get to grips with the character in a simpler scenario. But we're going to be, again, thrown in the deep end with a level 2 character focusing on level 2 encounters. I know that's what it's going to be. I can guess going forward when we get to level 3, once we get to leveling up in the next delivery, we'll probably start only getting level 3 character sheets for any new characters we get. We, of course, will get character sheets for all our older characters. But, I don't know. I'm really hoping that they up the content we get item-wise. I have nothing against the magazines. It's nice. The information is spread out. It's very little reading. I mean, if we just take a look at issue 19, while we got a lot of pages, Sage Overview, we got a lot of pages there. Every page is nicely spread out. You got your title, you got a summary, you've got your first paragraph section there. Turn the page, you got another section and another section. That's it. It's nice, sort of simplified but not simple, or simple but not simplified. The way that they're giving the information is great. It means you can just read a couple of pages before bed. Well, I have been known to read an entire book before bed. Yeah, if you've got like a tea break or something at work, you can read a couple of pages. But yeah, really this has been a bit of a letdown delivery, as I mentioned. All I can say is, please, Hachette, if you are watching, listening to us creators, please hear our calls, reduce the amount of dice, and bring in something that we'll find actually useful. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I would definitely like to see more standees. I'd definitely like to see perhaps a dungeon creation kit where we have some markers, a laminated 1-inch grid that we can design our own maps on. I'd like as well something to help store all of this. These dice tins, they don't stack all that well. They slide off each other. I'm struggling to find somewhere that they stay in one place. They just seem to just move on their own. Plus the dice in the bags are getting in the way everywhere. I'm probably going to have to invest in a little storage box sort of thing to keep all these in. But I'd like a nice laser cut MDF sort of fold out player toolkit kind of thing, where you'd have drawers for dice, you'd have slots for your dice tins, you'd have areas to slide your character sheets in behind, as well as drawers for pens, maybe a slot for a notebook or something. That's another thing, a D&D branded notebook. Give that to us in one issue with a nice D&D pen. That would be a change to dice. But yeah, I feel this is going to go into a rant anytime soon, so I think I'm going to stop it there before I go too over the edge. Sadly though, I'm going to have to give this a 2 out of 5 for delivery. I think I could probably push for a 3 out of 5 due to all the information in the magazines. But yeah, I'm really feeling defeated with all these dice sets. 2 similar yet pretty basic sets. None of them really excite me. I love the giant blue dice. I think we've already had a set like this, but if not, give us a set like that. That is gorgeous. Blue with the silver accent, not silver with a blue accent. That's my way of thinking things. Same for these dice. They could be better. They're obviously meant to be clear blue, but it's hard to tell, especially in the tin. Yeah. I'm sorry, Hachette, but it's I'm going to stick with my original rating of 2 out of 5 for this delivery. Not the best we've had. Maybe you've got your own opinions. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Are you sitting on the fence like me? Are you considering giving up soon? I don't really want to. I'm invested. I'm 20 issues in now. I don't want to give up, but they're making it hard for me to actually enjoy a delivery. Who knows? But yeah, that's delivery 6 for Dungeons & Dragons Adventurers. Sorry it's a little bit of a rant, but I might even have to do a full rant video at some point just to get things off my chest and hopefully get Hachette listening to us. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Drop me a comment down below. What do you think of the collection so far, and how do you feel of it going forward? Do you think we are going to see a change, or do you think we are going to see this again, just a full dice delivery? I'm hopefully going to be getting around to playing some games soon. I've got some friends who are talking about setting up a campaign and they've invited me to play, so I'm going to be sorting out a character for that and picking out, of course, a dice set to use as well. Right, yeah, I'm going to leave it. Thank you all again very much for watching. Stay safe, and until next time, keep rolling those crits.